What's up, everyone? This is Brandon from top10gamer.com. I just wanted to talk a little bit about graphics card woes and fixes and things like that, and things you guys should try if you're having trouble with your FPS in Battlefield 4. Now, first of all, I'm going to have a few links in the description of this video that you should go take a look at, where people at the Battlefield 4 forums are talking and taking a look at different system specs and everything to see what FPS they're getting. This isn't just NVIDIA cards that are having this problem. There are also cards from AMD that are having the same problem. So if you're having low FPS, I'm going to refer you to a couple different posts in the description. But in looking, there's a post at Battlefield 4 called that says post FPS system specs here, okay? And people are putting their graphics card, their processor down, and just basically listing what kind of FPS that they're getting on Ultra. It's a really valuable resource right now because we have limited information. We don't have like big tests done by major manufacturers, and we may not see those until the actual game comes out. Because a lot of what is going on right now is temporary. There will be fixes provided. But if you can't wait that long and you're trying to play the beta, I know that can be frustrating. So maybe I can help you out with a little bit of my insight. From what I'm seeing on the forum, a lot of problems people are having is CPU related. If you haven't upgraded your CPU in a long time, if you don't have a decent CPU to play Battlefield 4, you can have a major bottleneck. You should go and take a look and monitor your CPU usage to see how often you're getting into that 100% range. If you're reaching that, then you could have substantial FPS dips just because your CPU isn't handling Battlefield 4 in the way that it should. Also, whether using an AMD card or an NVIDIA card, make sure to download the most recent drivers. There's a beta driver that NVIDIA has out that I'm using currently with success, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. It should be the GeForce 331.40 beta drivers. So that's the one I'm using. If that's not working, some people are saying that you should roll back a couple gens and see how that works. So you could certainly try that. Radeon, there's the 13.10 beta drivers that you should definitely have if you're trying to play the Battlefield 4 beta. I'm also wondering whether VRAM is an issue. I've been monitoring my GPU usage, my VRAM usage. I've been monitoring everything running the game. I'm running it currently with an EVGA GeForce GTX 660 Ti 3GB version, and I'm getting between like 38 and 53 on Ultra. But then if I put my settings on low, which looks great, by the way, it's unbelievable. I can hardly tell the difference between the low and the Ultra settings anyway, and sometimes I prefer it on low just for max FPS. I'm in general, I'm in that 80 to above 100 FPS range. So right where I want to be at with the 660 Ti. So regardless of what you've been reading online, it's not just NVIDIA cards aren't just standard horrible for this game. I don't care whether it's an NVIDIA card or an AMD card. I want whatever is going to give me the best bang for my buck. But don't just assume that the AMD cards are going to be better because AMD was with EA at E3 and whatever else. Don't just assume that they're going to work better. In Battlefield 3, there was really good competition between the two companies, so you can assume that going forward, and you should really still look at the Battlefield 3 benchmarks for Battlefield 4 when determining what card you should purchase if you're trying to get one before the release date. Previously, I had done a video on the Battlefield 4 cards that I would recommend, and I also did a write-up for that. I'll put that in the description below where you can see what cards I'm recommending at this point in time. The thing about buying a graphics card at this point in time is that my opinion might change over time. And that's just what we have to be okay with. You can't set things in stone when we're talking about betas and drivers changing and things like that. Okay, so another problem people are having with the Battlefield 4 beta is loading issues. Some people are getting that loading screen and it just goes indefinitely. Okay, so I'll put another link in the description below. I know there's a lot of links in this video, but to the forum, I can't talk about every single fix that people have mentioned there, but I will talk about one thing that I ran into that was a pretty simple fix. I actually played the game for 7 hours on the first day. I was into it 7 hours. I played it 9 hours total the first day it came out. A little obsessive, I know, but I was pretty excited. So played it 7 hours, and then I went to load it again, and it wouldn't load. And it actually would just stay on loading, and then I could hear the game in the background. And I'm like, man, what's going on? So I erased my profile data because I'd been doing so much testing. I had adjusted the resolutions, the settings, just about everything you can think of. And I thought, well, maybe that's the problem. So I deleted that data, and that didn't work. And then finally I said, you know what? I'm just going to try to open this in another window, because normally I use Chrome. And so I tried to open it in Internet Explorer. Bam, it worked. So if it's not loading for you in Chrome, maybe you could try it out in Internet Explorer, or maybe if you're having problems with or you're using one certain browser, just try another, see if it'll work. When you have a beta like this, you're going to run into problems. You got to get a little bit creative when it comes to solving those issues. Okay, so another kind of weird thing as I was monitoring my graphics card in the game is that I noticed that some games I would stick right at the 1.5 gigabytes for VRAM. And then other games, and this wasn't just a settings issue, so other games I would stick between 2.2 and 2.5 gigabytes of VRAM. So I don't know what's going on there, but I think that at this point in time, we can go ahead and say that it is important to have that 3 gigabytes of VRAM. That is the recommended settings that DICE gave us before this came out. So I would closely, if you're still looking for a graphics card, be sure you follow that. You don't start getting above 2 gigabytes until you get into that HD 7950 and the GTX 760 range. So if that's something that you really care about, make sure you jump up to that level of card at least. Okay, so I'm really hoping to put together some more information on this. Of course, I don't have every graphics card out there. What do we do if we don't have? No one does. What do we do if we don't have every graphics card out there? Well, we can look at the information that's on the Battlefield 4 forums, but also I'm hoping you guys will add information in the comments section below about what processor you have, what graphics card you have. If you'll give the model number, specs on it, like VRAM, that would be fantastic. And then just kind of let us know what FPS you're getting on low, medium, high, and ultra settings. A good way to monitor that would be to use MSI's Afterburner program. There's a similar one in the EVGA Precision X that you can use as well. And you can even use Tech PowerUp's GPU-Z, which I've been using just because I like the layout of it. So there's a few good options of monitoring, and hopefully that helps you guys. Hopefully we can help out each other figuring out how we can get the highest amount of FPS for Battlefield 4. Hope you liked this video. If you did, press that like and subscribe button. Feel free to ask any questions or comments. I'm just here to help. If you guys have questions about anything, go ahead and ask it, and hopefully I can be a good resource for that. If you think so, again, press that like and subscribe button. We've got great videos coming up on Battlefield 4 as well as many other hardware topics, and we'll see you next time.